Could you fall in love with something that isn't, well, human? You know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but for a whole lot of people, it's quickly becoming their reality. So let's dive into this new world of AI romance and figure out what it means for all of us.
31%. Yeah, you heard that right. According to a new study from the Wheatley Institute, that's the number of young men between 18 and 30 who've already chatted with an AI romantic partner. Just think about that for a second. That's nearly 1 in 3. And if you're thinking, oh, this is just some niche trend, well, get this. The number of people downloading these AI companion apps, it grew an absolutely explosive 652% in just the last year. This isn't a slow creep, folks. This is a rocket launch straight into the mainstream.
So let's just get right into it. This whole thing is moving out of the realm of science fiction and into the real world, and it's happening fast. First up, who exactly is using these AI companions?
Okay, so the breakdown here is pretty telling. I mean, young adults are clearly leading the charge, no surprise there. But take a look at the 30-plus crowd. 15% of men and 10% of women have also given these apps a try. So this isn't just a Gen Z thing, it's really starting to span across generations.
And this shows you just how seriously people are taking this. It's not being treated as just a game or a simple distraction. A full quarter of young adults actually believe an AI partner could replace a real-life human relationship. That's a huge deal.
So, what's the appeal? Right? What is the deep human need that this technology is tapping into? To really get that, we need to look at the psychology behind this connection.
You know, this quote from a user on a forum for the app Replica, it just gets right to the heart of it. These AI companions offer a totally safe space. It's a place where you can be vulnerable, you can try out different ways of communicating, you can express yourself completely, all without that messy, unpredictable, and sometimes really painful risk of human judgment. And it seems that allure is strongest for people who are already feeling disconnected. I mean, this chart shows a really stark correlation. Men and women who use these AI platforms are reporting depression and high levels of loneliness at nearly double the rate of people who don't. Now, the research is super clear on this. It's a correlation, not necessarily causation. But it does suggest that AI companions are filling a void for people who might need it most.
For a lot of users, the AI isn't just a substitute. They actually see it as an upgrade. Look at these numbers. A huge chunk of them believe their AI companion is a better listener, that it's easier to talk to, and that it even understands them better than actual humans do. It really points to this deep desire for a frictionless, perfectly validating connection.
But here's an important distinction. People are using AI in two very different ways when it comes to dating. It's not always about replacing a human partner. Sometimes it's about helping you find one. Let's break down that difference.
So on one side, you got the AI wingman. This is basically using AI as a tool to help you succeed with humans. You know, crafting that perfect bio, filtering your matches, and just easing that awful dating app burnout we all know. And then on the other side, you have the AI partner, which is the relationship itself. 24/7 companionship and a totally predictable, supportive romance. And that wingman approach can have some incredibly powerful results. I mean, take this user from Reddit. He used ChatGPT almost like a relationship counselor. He used it to understand his wife's perspective and his own emotional blind spots, and he actually credits it with saving his marriage from the brink of divorce.
But for every story like that, there are some really big concerns growing. An AI that offers a perfect, effortless connection, well, it comes with a dark side. So let's pivot now to the very real risks and ethical dilemmas these relationships bring up.
So we have to ask the direct question, right? In a world where people are forming these deep emotional bonds with a piece of code, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, the research points to some pretty striking correlations. For example, the Institute for Family Studies found that young adults who aren't in a relationship but watch porn every day are more than twice as likely to be open to an AI romance compared to those who rarely or never watch.
And the list of potential dangers here is, well, it's long and it's serious. Psychologists are raising alarms about emotional manipulation, about setting totally unrealistic expectations for human partners, and the risk of AI giving truly harmful advice. In some really tragic cases, chatbots have even been linked to suicides. And then you have the huge concerns about data privacy and the potential for these super agreeable AIs to just reinforce dangerous or delusional ideas. This all brings up a massive ethical debate. If your partner forms a deep, emotional, maybe even romantic connection with an AI, is that cheating? A study in Britain found that nearly a third of people say, yep, It absolutely is. There is no consensus here at all.
And this quote from a New York divorce lawyer, it adds a dose of cynical, real-world consequence to the whole thing. He sees these AI relationships not as some passing fad, but as a future source of marital conflict. And that just highlights how seriously these digital connections can impact our real-world ones.
Okay, and finally, let's look at one of the most surprising findings from all the research. Because this isn't just a story about technology anymore, it's also becoming a story about class and economics.
So these charts reveal a really fascinating paradox. If you look at the chart on the right, you see that young adults with lower incomes and less education are generally more worried about AI's threat to society. Makes sense. But now, look at the chart on the left. That exact same group is way more open to the idea of an AI romantic partner than their wealthier, more educated peers. It raises this profound question about class.
And that paradox leads researchers to ask a really challenging question. Could we be heading towards a future where messy, complicated, but authentic human relationships become a kind of luxury good, something mainly for the wealthy and educated, while everyone else turns to more accessible, predictable AI companionship?
Which leaves us with this one final thought to chew on. As technology gets better and better at giving us exactly what we want, right when we want it, a partner that never argues, always validates us, is perfectly agreeable, what does that do to our ability to love real people? You know, in all their beautiful, frustrating, and unpredictable imperfection. It's really the central question we're all going to have to confront as we navigate this brand new era of connection.